Hello everybody, I'm Ellen and this is my kitchen. Today we are making strawberry jam using the Deluxe Cooking Blender. If you don't have this yet, let me tell you, you're gonna wanna add it to your kitchen. This is a power tool that is not only a blender, but it replaces about 4 to 5 power tools in your kitchen that would either be a blender. This also can make alternative milk. So if you are lactose intolerant or you prefer almond milk or all different kinds of other milk, this is the blender for you. This makes also soup. You can puree things, grind. So if you have like a coffee grinder and it's just an added tool on your counter that you have to pull out all the time, or you have to leave it there and you don't want it there, this actually does it for you, okay? And then it also does jams and sauces. So with all the blenders out there, the cooking blenders, if they say they're cooking, the way to find out if they truly are a cooking blender as opposed to a heating blender is find out what cooking temperature it goes up to, okay? In order for it to be considered a cooking blender, it has to cook, as in degrees, like you're putting it in the oven, baking it, cooking on top of the stove, what have you. This cooking blender will heat and cook up to 220 degrees, okay? So that's something no other blender out there does right now. It is patent pending with Pampered Chef. So this is one of those fabulous power tools in your kitchen that will do amazing recipes for you. Okay, so today we are making the strawberry jam. Very, very simple ingredients needed: strawberries, sugar, and pectin. If you don't know much about pectin, you'll find it in the canning areas of the grocery store or the bigger stores. You can just go to the canning area where they have like the mason jars, and it's usually right there. Some stores will sell it in a container, others will sell pectin in a box like this. It kind of looks like like a Jello packet or a box, but that's what pectin looks like right here. When you actually take it out from the box, pectin looks like, for me, I think it looks like the consistency of a coffee creamer, the powdered coffee creamer. That's kind of what it looks like. But those are the 3 main ingredients to make your strawberry jam. The purpose of the pectin, it's basically like a sugar acid. When combined with the fruit and sugar, it activates, and that's what you need to make a jam or jelly. It gives it that jammy consistency, okay? Where it's almost like gelatin, but gelatin is very different from pectin. But it kind of gives you the same result. It just comes from 2 different places. Pectin is from plant and gelatin is not. So anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to get started. When you make jam or sauces in the Deluxe Cooking Blender, know that there's going to be 2 settings that happens with the process. The first is when you add the first part of ingredient, and then it's going to do its thing. It comes to temperature. It'll rise up to 212 degrees, which is your boiling point. And then at that point, the blender knows what to do already. We just have to be there to add things for the second stage. So the first stage is you add a couple of the ingredients first, let it rise in heat, 212, then the blender will stop and it'll actually tell you to add the second stage. At that point, we'll put in the sugar and then we'll start it up again. And then the next step is to take your jam and pour it in individual jars. So here we go. Make sure your blender is plugged in. I can't tell you how many times I've done it and it wasn't even plugged in. So plug it in first, okay? On the side of your blender is a switch. Just switch it on. You know that it'll turn on. First, you'll hear the beep, and then you'll see the lights displayed on the screen, okay? Here's your lid. What you want to do is, we have this wonderful cooking guide right here, and this is designed specifically for your blender, okay? Please don't throw this away. Excuse me. If you accidentally, lose it or what have you, you can always get it, again. But I keep this in my kitchen at all times because at any random time, I'll pull this out and try something new. Okay. So in here, you'll have your ingredients, your recipe, sorry, with the ingredients and everything. So it kind of gives you a starting point, especially when you get this. Sometimes it can be intimidating because it's a power tool. You want to use it, but you don't know where to start. It gives you a starting point. That's why I love it. Okay, so in here, I am just following the recipe for the strawberry jam. Very, very simple. When they list all the steps, you want to make sure you follow it exactly. You add the ingredients as it tells you to, okay? So for this part, we're going to take strawberries. I've already prepped, and you know me, you always prep your recipe before you start it, okay? It makes things go so much faster. So I have a pound of fresh strawberries already hulled and cut in half. So I'm gonna add it to the blender. Just like that, okay? I'm filling it up. And then for the pectin, the recipe only calls for 2.5 tablespoons. So I've poured the pectin into my prep bowl that has a lid. So when I want to store it and I want to do another batch, I can do that, okay? So I'm just gonna take 2.5 tablespoons of pectin. There's one, 2, slide this measuring spoon. You know what? Just for video purposes, I'm going to pull out the teaspoon, measuring spoon. So here is the tablespoon, and this is the teaspoon. And this, I'm going to put on half. That way you can see both measuring spoons. And there's the half. I love these measuring spoons because they come apart, so easy cleaning. And you can also measure liquids with that too. Okay, pectin done. Now I'm going to put the lid on, and the lid is very simple, okay? So what you want to do is just place it on, push it down, and you're going to slide it into place. When you hear that little beeping sound, that means you've done it correctly, okay? And it's ready to go. This inside cap, it's a plastic cap right here, okay? This we will use for the stage 2 process. But for stage 1, make sure it's in a closed position so that it doesn't accidentally fly off, okay? So it's closed, ready to go. I look at my wheel here. It's just a button about this size. And I'm going to turn it clockwise. The blue light displays. And as it hits the selection that you want, that's where you're going to stop. It's on smoothie, alternative milk, grind, heated wash, soup, heated puree, and jam. And that's where we want, okay? So on here, it says 220. That tells you it's going to get up to 220 degrees when it's finished. That also means it's going to be hot. So please do not touch the glass when it's in motion. The handle and everything around it will stay cool to the touch, but the glass will get hot, okay? All right, so now to start things, all I'm gonna do is push the button and let it work. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna just hang tight for a little bit. You'll get to see a little bit of what the blender does. And then I'm going to pause and we'll come back for stage 2 and you'll see the process as we go, okay? So here we go, pressing the button. It will continue and stop, continue and stop. It has its own brain, so you're just gonna let it go. If you have any questions about your cooking blender, just reach out to me. I'll be happy to answer any questions that you have. This is such an amazing power tool in the kitchen that it's cooking for you. And when it does the cooking, you just walk away. Let it do its thing. It's got a brain of its own. It's going to tell you what to do next, okay? All the different variations of jams. You've got blueberry, raspberry, strawberry, low sugar strawberry jam, Concord grape jelly, orange marmalade, applesauce right in here. Incredible. In the sauce section over here, you can do chicken or beef gravy, sausage gravy, Alfredo sauce. There's also ice cream base, hollandaise sauce, and hot chocolate in here. It's incredible. And those are just two of the categories in this cookbook. Okay, so I am going to pause it and we'll see you at stage 2. Okay, we're back and we are at stage 2. The display finished at 199 degrees, and it's now reading add. So the word add comes up and that just tells you that you need to add the next ingredient, which is the final ingredient to make the strawberry jam. A total of 28 minutes had passed to this point. So what I'm going to do right now is, hold on, I got to make sure. Yep, I'm going to open the lid right here, okay? And the next ingredient is sugar. Now, I'm going to carefully add the sugar. And remember, don't touch the glass pitcher because it is very hot. It's 199 degrees right now, so I am carefully adding the sugar. And if you're asking yourself, boy, that was a lot of sugar, I wonder how much that is. Yes, it is a lot of sugar. It's 3 cups. That's why jam is so sweet. So now I'm going to put the lid back on, close it completely, and I'm going to push the wheel back in. Okay, so I'm going to give it a start again, and it's going to continue. So for the jam to finish the process, it'll go up to 220 degrees. Right now it's 176. It actually dropped down. It dropped down when I stopped it, or when I added the ingredient, and now it's rising again. So we're going to finish up the jam setting, or the process. When it's finished, it'll beep at you again, and that will be the end. And all you do is you take your jam and you're going to pour it in containers. So we'll hang out for a little bit, kind of watch it going, and it smells really nice in here. It smells like strawberry jam. And then I'll pause and we'll come back for the finishing touch. Okay, so I'll see you in a little bit. Okay, we are back and the blender is beeping at me. And if you look at the display, which obviously you can't see, but it's actually saying end. So at this point, I'm going to cancel the process because it's finished, and cancel. And for me, as a safety tip, I always turn it off just in case. On the side of the pitcher, there is a handle to allow you to lift it up and remove it. So what I'm going to do right now, remember, do not touch the glass because it is very hot. It did come to temperature at 220 degrees, so it's very hot. I'm going to remove the lid here by twisting off. So I'm going to twist and lift off. Now, unless you want a really painful facial, please make sure you lift the lid away from your face, okay? You will be able to see a lot of steam come out. So I'm gonna lift this up. And it smells so good. Now I'm gonna tilt it a little bit to see if you guys can see inside without pouring it out. It yields about 2 to 3 cups, but judging from this, it looks like a whole lot more. So I have a mason jar, and this mason jar holds about 4 cups. So I'm just gonna, if you pour it all the way to the top, I'll probably stop at 3.5. So, yeah, I'm stopping at about 3.5, and it looks like it can go for another cup. So in this case, it yielded about 4.5, or yeah, maybe 4 cups, 4.5 cups. Okay. And right here, I'm going to grab it real quick because it's not really hot yet, but there's my jam. So I'm going to let it cool because that's what you want to do. You want to make sure that any of the sauces or the jellies and jams that you make, let it cool completely before you refrigerate it. It can refrigerate in the fridge for up to 1 month. And then if you want to freeze it, it's good for about 6 months. So these make wonderful gifts as well. If you actually found smaller mason jars with the caps on it, and you can tie ribbons and everything, and there's your giveaway. You can do jams. And hold on just a sec. So a couple days ago, I made peanut butter in the deluxe cooking blender. And so the peanut butter is right here. And right in front of you, you have the gel, the jam, the jelly or jam. And I have peanut butter and strawberry jam. So tomorrow or whenever it cools completely, you can make yourself a sandwich. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video. And again, this was the strawberry jam made in the deluxe cooking blender. And there's so many other things that you can make as well. So until my next video, I hope you guys enjoy your day. And until then, bye-bye.